This video is going to be comparing a few of the more popular kind of casual walking around shoes that are on the market right now. From left to right on the screen, you've got the Allbirds, which in the shot right now, they're looking pretty old. Those are because I've been wearing those for the last year, and they're pretty worn out and busted. But next to those, we have the Vans Atwood shoes. And then the next two on the right in order, we've got the Vessi Cityscape and the Vessi Weekender. Now, the intent of this video is to give you a clear idea of how these shoes compare because, like I said, they're pretty common in the market, and you may be coming from a pair of any of these and thinking about making a jump to any of the others. In my case, I'm looking to make the jump from my Allbirds to either the Vans or the Vessis, and I want to provide some of the info here that I have not been able to find in other reviews or online. So let's get after it. We'll clear these out of the way right now, and I'll tell you a little bit about each of them. The thing about the Allbirds is that they have a good kind of environmental mission. It's all recycled and sustainable and all that good stuff. And if that's important to you, then Allbirds is a good way to go. But some things to note, if you don't already know, is that they're really soft, really lightweight, really flexible, but not the most durable. And you can see on the shoe, for instance, we've got some wear on the toe and at the knuckle here. And more importantly for me is that after about a year, the soles are kind of flat where it matters at the heel and in the ball of the foot. And that's both shoes. And I haven't fallen over or anything but like that, but I have had a couple slips, like if the concrete's wet. So that's not great. For me personally, that's a deal breaker, and I won't be buying these again. But you do you. Maybe you don't care about that. Now, next, we've got these Vans. And just to be straight up, I think these are the coolest looking of the four pairs of shoes. And when you wear them, you feel like you're really down low. You know, you feel like you're really close to the ground, which I like. It feels like there's less going on with these shoes. They're just kind of simple and classic style. What I don't like about these is that you'll notice how loose I had the laces here. And that's because when they're new, this canvas is really tight and narrow to the top of the foot, right along here. And you feel that, or at least I do. And I don't have particularly fat feet. It's really comfortable. And by that, I mean really uncomfortable. I've been wearing these around the house, and I can't wear them for more than an hour or two before I just find it really uncomfortable on the top of the foot. So I've read online that stretches out over time, but I don't love it. As for the soles, it's like kind of a gum rubber sole. It seems fine. You know, there are different materials here going on. We've got sort of like a spongy cork thing through here, and then sort of a softer rubber, and then a harder rubber. That's also, again, kind of like that spongy cork. No idea how well that'll hold up. Seems okay, though. Anyway, that's what those look like. I'm going to show all these on in a second, so sit tight. Now, when we get into the Vessis, their whole claim to fame is that they're waterproof, right? And I'm not going to do a demo where I pour water on my foot or stick my foot in a pool or anything like that because, like, if you're interested in Vessis, you've already watched a bunch of videos like that on YouTube. I want to tell you something new. So here's the deal. This shoe, I don't know if this is just the colorway I got with the all black. I think it's a little bit weird looking. You know, if you kind of ignore the laces, then really this is just like a kind of a thick sock. And to be clear, right, this is not the same kind of material as you have on the Allbirds, like knit, right? This is much more airy and lightweight. On the Allbirds, this is like, it does seem to be some kind of knitted something, but it definitely feels a lot thicker and just like spongy, kind of rubbery a little bit on the inside. But, you know, it's okay. It's okay. It's not bad. Something I want to point out, though, with these, so again, these are the Cityscape. A big, big difference with the Cityscape versus the Weekender, which is this guy, is when you're walking around, these kind of let your foot roll more naturally, like heel toe. Whereas these ones, the best way to describe it is it seems like these want you to go fast. And you can kind of see it in the design of the rubber here. So that's not just design. Like your heel really is higher up than your toes. So when your foot hits the ground, it's like it's kind of pushing you forward a little bit. And it's kind of like boom. Whereas with the Weekend, it's more of a roll, even though just by looking at it, it looks like this would be a more rigid structure that would make you kind of clomp down. It isn't the case. I'll put them on and show that in just a second. So, all that said, you know what? Why don't I throw them on and say a little bit about each? I'm going to start out with the Allbirds. And I hope I'm in frame here. The thing with the Allbirds is they really just feel like socks with a sole on them. They're really, really comfortable. They're really lightweight, sort of marshmallowy. And, I think they look okay with a pair of blue jeans. In my office space, we're business casual kind of thing, and like dark blue jeans is acceptable. And I wear these at my workplace all the time, and nobody seems to mind. So, not a bad situation. And I've walked around cities in these and all kinds of stuff. And like they remain very, very comfortable for me. But like I said, after a year or so, these are unusably slippery on the bottom, and that's ultimately what's sending me away. Now, what I'm going to do is pop these off, and I'm going to put on the Vessi Cityscapes because I think those are the closest in style to these. Okay, so something to know right away. It immediately feels like this is a much more substantial shoe. It's a lot less breathable than the Allbirds, but of course these are waterproof. So you are inherently going to lose some breathability because of that. And you can decide for yourself whether that's important to you or if it's a deal breaker or whatnot. I think these also look pretty good with the jeans. I do think the laces are a little bit. I don't know. I don't know if I love the laces because just the knowledge that they're doing literally nothing. Um, they seem a little frilly, in my opinion. I don't hate them. I don't love them. They are what they are. And I guess just for the sake of comparison, I'm going to pop one of these off and put the Allbirds back on so you can see them side by side. Okay, so hopefully this makes it clear just how much more shoe this one is versus the Allbirds. It almost makes the Allbirds look small or thin or something. But similar style from the back. Obviously, the color's a little bit different, but that's not the point of this video. Between the two, like I said, I think the Allbirds is a little bit more comfortable. But I keep complaining about this sole. Let me talk about the sole on the Vessis for a minute. I don't know what this green rubber is, but it is super, super grippy. I was walking around downstairs in my kitchen on a tiled floor, and it was like you could not twist your foot. With weight on it, it was like really, really grippy, whereas this is sliding all over the place. And the way that this sole is constructed, the green part does extend, just a little bit past the black. So when your foot's flat on the ground, it's the green part that's in contact with the ground. I like that. And it feels like, well, that's a bad example. When I touch it, it feels sturdy, like it's going to hold up. I'm going to pop off the Allbirds now, and I'm going to put on the Vessi Weekender so you can see that side by side. So once again, on my right foot here, I've got the Weekender, and I think that actually looks pretty good with jeans. It's a pretty classic design, and this is what I wanted to point out earlier when I was saying, like, when you walk in it, there's enough sort of give in the sole that you don't feel like your foot's slamming into the ground. Whereas if I turn around so you can see the cityscape better, It's a thinner sole, but because it's thicker at the heel and then thinner at the toe, it really, like that happens. I'm exaggerating for the sake of the video, but you do feel it. It's a very noticeable difference just walking around between these two shoes. I'm not going to say which is better or worse. You know, I've had these shoes a couple of days and I've worn both pairs for a day or so, and I like both. So, you know, don't get too worried about that. But if that's something that you think you'd be sensitive to, it may be something that you want to bear in mind. Okay, lastly, I'm going to keep the Weekender on, and I'm going to take off the Cityscape and put on the Vans Atwood. Because again, stylistically, I think the Weekender is a little bit closer to that, and I want you guys to be able to easily compare. All right, so let me fix my pants real quick. All right, there we go. So to me, again, like I said, I think that this here, the Vans Atwood of these shoes, stylistically, it's my preference. I like it, and I like the way it feels. Like I said, my foot feels really low in the sole. I feel like my heel's like almost on the ground. Now, I've never owned Vans, and I do wonder like how well it'll hold up, and if like the sole is substantial enough that I'll get some longevity out of it. Now there is a significant price difference, right? I think these, like the Vessi Weekenders, I think these are like 135 bucks. And I think I paid like $54 for these. So, you know, in terms of thinking about cost of ownership and everything, I could buy 2.5 pairs of these basically for one of these. So something to think about. But again, you can kind of see just how the Vessi shoe seems like a little chunkier. Um, and the feel is just really, really different between these two things. Um, if you like a softer sole that's more like spongy, get the Vessis. But also bear in mind, again, because of that waterproofness, this isn't as breathable as the Allbirds or the Vans. And I can feel like my right foot is noticeably hotter than my left foot. That's not great news for me. I live in Texas, and it's hot all the time. So I am thinking about whether or not that's going to be a problem for me. I also travel a lot, though, and I think that the Vessis are going to be a little bit more versatile for me. Of course, I could just buy more than one pair of shoes, but you know, where's the fun in that? Where's the adventure? So, look, all that to say, this has been a comparison of Allbirds, Vessi, and Vans. These are the Atwoods. These are the Weekenders. These are the Cityscapes. No, that was a lie. That's also the Weekender. This is the Cityscape. And my Allbird, you know, if I'm being honest with you, I just don't remember what that model was called, but it's the one that kind of got popular. It's pretty simple design. Again, good shoe, just doesn't hold up super long. Bear that in mind. Hope that helped. And yeah, see y'all next time.